There are new developments out of Dixon this morning. Happening now, this is a live picture where authorities are announcing federal and state charges against Stephen Wiggins, the man accused of killing Sergeant Daniel Baker with the Dixon County Sheriff's Department. You can see this news conference in its entirety streaming live online at newschannel5.com, as well as on our Facebook page and News Channel 5 Plus. Stephen Wiggins and Erica Castro-Miles have been both indicted for the murder of Dixon County Deputy Sergeant Daniel Baker. The deputy's death sparked a two-day manhunt for Wiggins that led to him being found in Hickman County. The pair appeared in court this morning. Wiggins is accused of using Baker's own weapon to kill him on May 30th. Wiggins is also charged with trying to destroy evidence by setting Officer Baker's car on fire when his body was inside. He's charged with criminal impersonation for using Baker's phone after his death and also of using deadly force with Baker's handgun and facing an additional violation of probation charge. He faces 12 counts for the murder, while Castro-Miles faces a murder charge. Both of them pled not guilty to the charges. And new details now in another story we are following closely, also out of Dixon. Joseph and Crystal Daniels were both indicted this morning in the death of their 5-year-old son, Joe Clyde Daniels. Joe Clyde went missing in early April and has still not been found. His parents were arrested after Joe Clyde's father admitted to killing the boy. The father faces murder, child abuse, and several other charges. Crystal Daniels, Joe Clyde's mother, faces 4 counts, including child neglect. A source close to the case says a blanket was found they believe belonged to the toddler. The source says it was discovered on CCC Drive in Dixon earlier this week, about 3 miles from the Daniels home. A family member reportedly positively identified the blanket as a Christmas present for baby Joe. The sheriff would not confirm or deny whether a blanket was found, but says detectives are looking into it. There have been multiple searches involving the community and professional teams in the past 9 weeks. Still no sign of the child's body. And another shocking high-profile suicide to tell you about today. Anthony Bourdain was known all over the world for his food travels. Police say he took his own life in France while working an episode of his award-winning CNN television series. Nikki Batiste has more.
Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain was found dead in a French hotel room this morning after taking his own life.
The history of the world, as one chef told me, is in this plate. It's telling a story, often a very personal one, a very old story.
A longtime host of Parts Unknown on CNN, the network says a friend found the 61-year-old father unresponsive and confirmed his death was a suicide. In a statement, CNN said, "His talents never cease to amaze us, and we will miss him very much."
The whole business model, the whole system that I came up with abhorred waste, encouraged us to make the most of every ingredient.
Bourdain's suicide comes on the heels of Kate Spade's, and one day after new research by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows a spike in suicides across the country since 1999. The biggest increase has been among people in the same age range as both Bourdain and 55-year-old Spade.
Middle-aged Americans, and particularly white men and women, their rate has risen the most, between 50 and 65%.
Dr. Christine Moutier is Chief Medical Officer for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. She says a person's success or a celebrity life does not make them immune to despair and depression.
Suicide actually does not discriminate. The truth is that every person, no matter what their status in life, is human at the core of it and will face these kinds of struggles, and sometimes, ironically, it's our own identity and our self-perception that might keep us from seeking help.
Bourdain was twice divorced and leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
And more on that story as we learn new details on air, online, and on social throughout the day.